you cool cats, this is Mina with another episode of Steins. Today I plan on recording a couple of hours, and I'm really going to focus on making this longer episodes. I have a nice glass of water here to help me keep my voice up. But other than that, let's go on with the story. After I get back to the lab, I take the broken TV down to the Brawn Tube workshop for repairs. Daru and Mayuri have already gone home, so I have to carry the TV down the narrow staircase by myself. It's brutal, back-breaking work, but I manage. I push the workshop door open with my hips and head inside. The room is dimly lit by the setting sun, but the gloom is offset by the glare from the gigantic CRT in the center of the room. A 42-inch CRT television. It doesn't seem like something you could get in modern Japan. With LCD TVs becoming the new standard, I seriously doubt anyone would want a bulky old CRT.
Oh,
wow, you weren't who I was expecting. Oh, what's up, Okabe? Sitting in front of the huge CRT is an equally huge man reading a sports newspaper. He's the workshop manager, actually the owner of this whole building, Tanoji Yugo. I call him Mr. Brawn. It's a fitting name for someone who loves the Brawn tubes. What's up? The TV you broke. What's up? That TV you gave me broke. That's what. I bet you were treating it rough, weren't you? I barely managed to set the heavy TV on the counter. Love, you gotta treat him with love. A muscle-bound bald guy talking about love sends shivers down my spine. I'll need repairs post-haste. Man, why do you always have to talk like that? Mr. Brawn begins investigating the cause of the problem. With nothing better to do, I look around the store. I don't know if it's just the dust hanging in the air, but something feels stagnant about this place. There are CRT screens everywhere. Oh, we got mail. Mayuri. Just Fatty. I didn't want to get any of the other Jero froggies, but I did want Fatty. But now that I think about it, it wasn't really that cute. Actually, it was kind of weird looking. I wonder why I wanted it so bad. Hey, I just kind of realized Fatty kind of looks like Daru-kun. Okay. Do they even sell Jero froggies anymore? Just the body, right? No comment on Daru's face. Let's go with this one. This one's nicer. Do they even sell Jero froggies anymore? The haphazard layout makes them seem like junk, but they're all functional according to Mr. Brawn. He's got a full range of both old and new. Some of them are probably older than me. There are even some flat screen and HD CRTs that came out just before LCDs took the market. You're open late today. Don't you usually close around 7? The crowds in Akiba thin quickly at night. All the major electronic stores close around 8 or 9 o'clock. And then, as if the liveliness of the day was simply a lie, the town goes silent. I'm expecting someone. You mean that chipmunk of yours? Don't be calling my little girl a chipmunk, you hear? The manager glares at me and takes a photo from his wallet. It's a picture of a young girl shyly making a peace sign at the camera. One might assume this muscle-bound man to be some kind of pervert, but this girl is actually his daughter. I didn't think that. I was thinking that it was probably going to be his daughter. She's about 12 years old now, I think. His love for her is second only to his love of CRTs. Or was it the other way around? I see her in the store every now and then. What was her name again? If you touch Nay, you're dead. That's it, Nay. Rare name that means to braid. She pops up at the store now and again, so we've interacted with her before. And by we, I mean Mayuri, since she's the only one Nay gets along with. Nay always hides when she sees me or Daru. I must admit, I'm impressed she can sense my aura of madness at such an early age. Mr. Braun makes grandiose kissing gestures at his daughter's photo. Once again, shivers down my spine. Seriously, besides your daughter, has this workshop ever had a customer? I've been renting the second floor for about 6 months, but I don't recall ever seeing a customer. I'd be surprised if this place were actually making any money. Ain't a customer. He puts away the photo and goes back to checking the TV, leaving me with that vague answer. There's probably just a loose solder on the board. I can fix it. Really? Well, then by all means. Hold on, I'll get you an estimate. What? You're charging me? What do you think? This ain't some charity. You're the one who gave us the TV. Yeah, so what? Never said I'd service it for free. Curse you. You have some gall to say that after foisting a half-broken piece of junk onto us. Oh, shut up. If you don't want it, I can take it back. But I'll have to charge you for its safe disposal. Extortion! You dare cheat the man who very well may change the future of mankind? Huh? Who's that now? Me, of course. Who else? Brush your teeth and go to sleep, kid. You got some nerve to be back-talking when I'm letting you rent the second floor for next to nothing. You shall have your money, Mr. Braun. In the end, I'm no match for him. Just then I hear the door open. I look up to see that a girl has entered the store. She's wearing a vintage jacket and tight shorts that highlight her long limbs and athletic figure. I find myself particularly impressed by her well-defined thighs. What's up?
Oh.
What? Suddenly, time stops. Feels like someone activated... It feels like someone activated Zawaldo! Alright. I don't remember if I read this or not. Onusa, a wand that is carried by a Shinto priest adorned with shide paper. It is used in blessing rituals to ward off evil spirits. Zawaru! There it is! Zawaldo! The power to stop time. One of those supernatural abilities called Steins that appear in the popular manga Juju's Bizarre Adventures. Those with the ability to use stands are called stand users. Of course. The girl is still standing there with her arm in the air. Her smile gradually fades into confusion. What kind of reaction was she hoping for? Seriously. Anyway, is she the person Mr. Braun was expecting? Maybe she's someone he knows personally. Another daughter? Or dare I say, his girlfriend? She finally drops her pose and clears her throat. I called earlier. I'm Amane. Just like that, time starts moving again.
ああ、バイトの面接したいって子な。俺が店長の天王寺だ。
Oh, so you're the kid for the job interview. I'm Tenoji, the manager.
バイトの面接だとこんな若い女性が
A job interview? This young woman?
この新規臭くておしゃれ感ゼロで繁盛もしておらず無才おっさんが店長のブラウン管工房にバイト希望だというのか
You want to work at this dull, dirty, depressing, debt-ridden Braun Tube workshop with this filthy old manager?
おめえ、来月から2階の家賃1000円増しな。
You want an extra 1,000 yen added to your rent?
俺は事実を言ったまでですよもっとも部外者が口を出す問題ではないが
My words are but the truth, though I suppose it's not my place to get involved.
しかしブラウン管工房がバイトを募集していたともなこの暇さではその必要性を全く感じないのだが
Anyway, I had no idea Braun Tube Workshop was hiring. You always look so free. I didn't know you needed the help.
それは私が電話で無理って頼んだんです。
Actually, I'm the one who begged for the job. The girl looks a little embarrassed.
最初は断られたんだけどさ、店長さんにどうしてもお願いしますって。
The boss refused at first, but I wouldn't take no for an answer. That's honestly surprising.
今時珍しい若者がいたもんだよな。ま、そこの椅子に座んな、お嬢ちゃん。
Kids with drive are rare these days. Take a seat right there, young lady.
失礼します。
Oh, thank you. Looks like they're going to have a formal interview. I was going to leave, but since Mr. Braun hasn't kicked me out, I'll stick around for a bit longer. The girl's expression is stiff. I guess she's nervous. Just because of a part-time job interview? In contrast to how she said she wouldn't take no for an answer, she doesn't seem so enthusiastic.
名前は何だって？
Right, what was your name again?
天音鈴葉です。
Amane Suzuha.
年は？
Age?
18。
18. Same as me.
学生？
Student?
ううん。
No. She shakes her head.
なんでうちで働きたいんだ？
Why do you want to work here?
ブラウン管が好きだから。
Because I love CRTs.
採用。明日から来い。
Hired. You start tomorrow.
それでいいのかというかこれはコントかもしかして仕込みか
Wait, what? Is this some sort of joke? Are we on camera?
ありがとう、店長さん。
Thanks, boss. Finally, Amane Suzuha seems to relax. Then she looks at me.
ところでさ、君は誰？
Who are you?
俺のな聞きたいというのかいややめてみるそれを知ることでお前にも最悪が降りかかるかもしれん
You dare ask my name? Banish the thought from your head, girl. To learn it would place their life in jeopardy.
これまでも多くの人が俺の名を知ったことで機関に狙われたアメリカのサライタリアのクラウディアフランスのシュンこれ以上誰かを危険な目に遭わせるわけには
Countless women have learned my name only to find themselves targets of the organization. Sarah in America, Claudia in Italy, Simone in France. I won't put anyone else in danger.
おい、アホな妄想してんじゃねえよ。
Hey, stop pulling things out of your ass. He just doesn't understand my pain.
このバカ男は2階に曲がりしてる岡部倫太郎ってんだ。
This idiot rents the second floor. Name's Okabe Rintaro.
岡部ではない俺はホーイン
My name isn't Okabe, it's Hyoin.
うるせえ。家賃さらに1000円上乗せするぞ。
Quit it or I raise your rent.
岡部 凛太郎だ。
I'm Okabe Rintaro. The girl stands up, places her hand on my shoulder, and looks at me with a serious
君を
expression.
狙ってるその期間ってのが何なのかは分かんないけど、
I don't know anything about this organization that's after you.
もし困ってんなら私に相談して。岡部倫太郎、そういうの慣れてるからさ。
But if you're ever in trouble, Okabe Rintaro, let me know. I can help with stuff like that.
は
Huh? Stuff like what?
場合によっては手段を選ばず痛めつけてやることも可能だし。
If necessary, I can hurt them so bad they'll never bother you again.
ミスター・ブラウン、彼女は採用しない方がいいと思う。
Mr. Braun, I don't think you should hire her.
ああ、物騒だな。騒ぎ起こしたらクビにするからな。そもそもその期間なんたらは岡部の創作だから本気にすんな。
I can't believe he was actually agreeing. Yeah, she might be a wild one. I'll fire her if she causes any trouble. Anyway, ignore that organization nonsense. It's all in Okabe's head.
創作？
It is?
せいぜいそう思ってるがいいさ。
You just keep thinking that. But someday the world will kneel before me. And then Amane Suzuya stares straight at me again. Maybe she has a habit of looking people in the eye.
そういうのが流行ってんだ。勉強になったよ。
So that's the current trend. Thanks for the tip. Trend? I don't think so. This girl is strange in her own way.
暑い。
So hot. I'm receiving a mail? Lukako. Are you really okay with yesterday's exorcism? I feel like a more traditional ceremony would have been better. I'm worried something might happen to you because the exorcism wasn't strong enough. It bothers me so much I can't sleep at night. P.S. Because of that, I couldn't do more than 3 practice swings with Samadare. I think this one's the nicest one. It wasn't bad, just a little clumsy. You're a servant of the gods. You need to project dignity and confidence. Work on it? No, that one doesn't. I don't want to mess with her so much. Her or him, I don't know. In fact, that was something that like bugged me while I was editing the video. Because like the main character is such an unreliable narrator, I don't know if Lukako is actually like a girl or a guy. Like I'm actually confused. Beyond confused. I need another character to interject and tell me. Because I can't trust anything out of his mouth. This one shows interest. That one shows interest and it's not messing with her. That's what I want to do. I was at the university all morning. As I returned to Akira, the heat is now becoming unbearable. I grab an iced coffee at the bakery inside Yodobashi to quench my thirst. While I'm at it, I guess I'll check @channel on my phone. Mostly frequent the occult board, the future technology board, and sometimes the physics board. I search for threads on the mass disappearance phenomenon or Makise Kurisu stabbing, but it turns up nothing. So were those hallucinations after all? When I peek at the occult board, I find posts in multiple threads from someone claiming to be John Tidor. Wait, John Tidor is back? John Tidor appeared in American BBS 10 years ago claiming to be a time traveler. He claimed to have time traveled from the year 2036 in order to obtain an old computer, the IBM 5100. His claims started quite a storm among the BBS denizens. Tidor also made several accurate, if fragmentary, predictions of future events. The start of the Iraq War and the spread of Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, for example. An American an American computer company. Not only do they develop and sell hardware and software, they also offer service and consultation to enterprises. In recent years, they have made the latter their main focus. IBM developed floppy disks and hard disk drives. Another name for the bovine spongiform encephalopathy, BSE, commonly known as mad cow disease, but only used in the case of human infection. Early symptoms include memory loss, abnormal movements, personality changes, dementia, and muscle stiffness. In severe cases, the patient may waste away for 1 to 2 years before dying of respiratory paralysis or other complications. To prove he was from the future, he explained the principles behind his time machine and provided pictures of its operation manual, but after about 4 months, he disappeared without ever revealing his identity. At one point, his predictions gained popularity even in Japan. Yes, he certainly did get some things right, but on the other hand, he missed several others. Some of his posts contradicted each other too. No! Oh, jeez, I clicked past it. But on the other hand, he missed several others too. Some of his posts contradicted each other too. That's why, to this day, most people doubt his authenticity as a time traveler. So after 10 years of silence, that same John Titor is now on Japanese BBS? Ridiculous. It's obviously a troll. First of all, John Titor is American, yet now he's posting on @channel in Japanese. Let's take a look at his posts. I don't expect you to believe that I came from the year 2036. I see that everyone would like to know more about my time machine. Time travel technology was developed by CERN. They completed the first time machine in 2034. Time traveler, lol. John Titor, lol. More details on the time machine. How do they sell time machines? How much do they cost? I've got about 100 million yen saved. Can you send me one? CERN has a monopoly on all time machines. Not even the most recent... CERN has a monopoly on time machines. Not even the most powerful nations on Earth can acquire one, to say nothing of private citizens. CERN used their time machine for power. By 2036, the world has become a dystopia. There is no war, no conflict. However, that is a false peace founded on complete eradication of liberty. What does LOL mean? Why did you come to this time? Was the Akiba satellite crash you're doing? Wait, guys, Titor-san doesn't understand Titor-san doesn't understand @channel lingo. Let's keep it simple, okay? If you know what I mean. Get a trip code, a-hole. 43. I came here to change my present, in other words, your future. My mission is to destroy CERN's dystopia and restore freedom to the world. This is a wonderful time you're living in. Everyone is free, but you will lose it all in just 20 short years. It is vitally important that you understand what the future has in store. What is a trip code? I might get one if you tell me what it is. You said only CERN has time machines. You have a time machine. That must mean you're working for CERN. Therefore, your goal can't be to destroy CERN's dystopia. You're a fraud. What's a dystopia? How can CERN take over the world in just 20 years? Look at the Middle East. You've been reading too much manga if you think you can get those guys to stop killing each other. Who asked you to change the future? You're trying to play God? If they're promising world peace, then I, for one, welcome our new CERN overlords. My time machine is a prototype reverse engineered from stolen CERN technology. Compared to their time machine, its capabilities are quite limited. In 2036, the world is ruled by a single all-powerful governing body. They control every aspect of our lives, deciding what we will eat, where we will live, and whom we will marry. There is no privacy and no choice. Anyone who dares oppose them is eliminated. There are no trials. This reminds me of that book, what was it called, like 1984 or something like that? In movies and small In movies and stuff, small changes to the past cause huge changes to the future. You've already changed the present by coming here. What happens if you make unexpected changes to the future? Implying CERN rules the world. Do you even know what CERN is? LOL. OP is a troll. So if we find his dad and kill him, then this time traveler, Lamau, will never be born, and we won't have to listen to this BS. Am I right? I want to know if you can meet your past self. Can you have self-cessed? Oh my god. You're talking about the so-called grandfather paradox that has been debunked. This world line has a divergence of 0.571024% compared to the world line I came from. Killing my father would alter divergence, creating a world line where my father is dead. However, it would not erase this world line. I would go on existing. CERN has a particle physics research institution that hasn't changed in 2036. It is possible to meet your past self. The prevailing theory in my time is that nothing would happen. I, however, haven't met my past self. If you're really a time traveler, then effing prove it. Post time machine pics or GTFO. The many worlds interpretation? Whoa, slow down, bro. Research institution taking over the world. Lol, what? I do not feel the need to prove that I am what I say I am. I am only posting these messages on a whim. My mission comes first. What are world lines? Can you meet yourself from another world line? What happens if you do? Late reply. A trip code is a way to identify posters. Put password after your name. Lol, backpedaling. World lines are like an infinite number of rivers flowing in parallel. Along the way, they are constantly branching out into new world lines. This is called divergence. For example, whether or not you post on this message board has practically no effect on this world line's divergence. But if you were murdered, let's say, then the divergence would change. However, it would only change by about 0.000002%, if that. A single human being's death is not terribly significant on a global scale. Wars, disasters, acts of terrorism, and other events that cause widespread death and destruction have a much greater effect on divergence. Thanks for telling me about trip codes. I'll make sure to use this one from now on. I'm starting to get tired, so let's pick up again tomorrow. It's been fun talking to everybody. Looks like they've already made an archive of these threads. Of course, there have been sites dedicated to John Titor for years now. This post closely resembles what the original Titor wrote 10 years ago. I've read one of the books on Titor, that's how I know. This new John Titor is clearly an imposter. There are many Titor fanatics on @channel. He's not exactly a household name in Japan, but I doubt anyone will fall for this level of trolling. Okay, let me read some of these. Trolling. On the internet, to post controversial opinions or false information for the purpose of provoking a reaction. CERN, a French acronym for Société Européenne pour la... Oh my god, I'm going to butcher this. Société Européenne pour la Recherche Nucléaire. This is embarrassing. I can't say it. Or European Society for Nuclear Research. The world's largest elementary particle physics laboratory, located on the Franco-Swiss border near Geneva, has a bank, library, a post office, and a dorm on the premises. Scientists from around the world gather at CERN to research particle physics. Dystopia, the opposite of a utopia. For example, a completely regulated society in which most people are denied privacy and freedom. As I continue to read, however, I find the response the opposite of what I expected. Everyone is accepting this time traveler as if it were his first appearance. Nobody has even mentioned his appearance 10 years ago. Finding this strange, I try posting a retort, but everyone ignores me. What the hell? You can figure this out if you do a little research, people. There's the original John Titor thread archive in English and plenty of Titor blogs in Japanese. Enter John Titor's name in a search engine. 12 matches. Wait, only 12? Moreover, all 12 are about the current Titor's postings on @channel. I can't find a single trace of the Titor from 10 years ago. Bizarre. This just can't be. I searched for information on Titor a few years back ago. Back then, I got tens of thousands of hits. Is this search engine filtered? I try searching on another site just to make sure, but it gives me the same result. What is this madness? Feels like I've stumbled onto another plane of reality. Could this be another organization conspiracy? These past 2 days, I've been surrounded by nothing but chaos and confusion. I'll call Daru. He'll know about Titter for sure. After all, I've talked to him about Titter before. I only vaguely remember the details of that conversation, but I'm positive the conversation happened. By the time I dig my phone out of my bag, I no longer feel like making the call. Instead, I send him an email on the way back to the lab. He replies with his location. By May Queen, he means May Queen plus Nyan squared, a maid cafe. Daru's a regular there. Apparently, 3D cat maids are his thing too. May Queen plus Nyan 2 is only a 3-minute walk from the lab. Coming from Kurumashidori, take a left at Sumako Isaka Crossing and you'll find it. That's where I'm headed now. It's usually busy in Akiba during summer break, but now it's even busier because of the Radikan incident. The area was blocked off yesterday, but it doesn't look like they could keep the main road closed for 2 days straight. I haven't seen a single police officer today. But the Radikan building still seems off limits. The entrance shutters are closed shut and sealed with a yellow police tape.
謎の人工衛星墜落から一夜明けた秋葉原です。警察による規制は解除され、駅前にはものすごい数の人が集まっています。
We're here now in Akihabara, the day after the unexplained satellite crash. The police barricade has been lifted, and a tremendous number of people have gathered in front of the station.
墜落した人工衛星がどこの国のものなのかについては現在も調査中とのことで、詳しいことがわかるまで撤去ができない状態です。
The satellite's origin is still under investigation. We're told that it can't be removed until the authorities have more
警察
information.
の発表によりますと、爆発などの危険は今のところないということですが、秋葉原を訪れた買い物客や地元商店街の関係者からは不安の声が上がっています。
According to the police, the satellite does not appear to be dangerous. However, tourists and local business owners have raised concerns. The media has dozens of cameras set up outside of the police line, and there are nearly twice as many onlookers as reporters, enough to fill the entire street with people. Everyone's aiming their phone cameras at the satellite-like object. So many people. Living in Akiba, you get used to crowds and big events, but a gathering of this size is unusual. I wonder when they'll get rid of that thing. I hope it doesn't explode or something. They've been letting people back into the area, so I guess there's no danger. Still, considering its unknown origin, I'm surprised there isn't more security. Today, like always, otakus are shopping for doujinshi, import games, electronics, or whatever strikes their fancy. Aside from the scene at Radikan, it's the same as any other day. But I still don't understand why what I saw yesterday. I've half accepted that the mass disappearance was just my imagination. Maybe I've become unable to distinguish reality from fantasy, like the media likes to say about teenagers these days. With that thought in mind, I return my gaze to the street. And there in front of me stands a woman holding her phone in front of her face. She took a picture. Her phone was clearly pointed at me. I tried to cover my face, but not quickly enough. I turned around just to make sure she wasn't pointing at someone behind me, but that doesn't seem to be the case. She's still staring at her phone. Without even glancing at me, she turns around and points her phone at some other pedestrian. Maybe she's just taking photos of everyone at the scene and not just me. But still, I need to have a word with her. The organization is after me, so I can't risk that photo getting out.
Wait!
She doesn't turn around. Is she so engrossed in her photography that she doesn't even notice me? Or did she not catch my magnificent native-level English? Hey, you with the camera! Wait, please, wait! She turns back, finally noticing me. And of course, her phone turns with her. Hey, no pictures! Are you with the organization? She completely ignores my objection, and then she goes back looking at her phone.
機関の人間か。
Answer my question. Are you with the organization? If she is, then I may have to take suitable measures.
違うのか。
You're not?
違うとしても問題がありますよ。俺の写真を持っていると機関に知られれば、あなたにも奴らの魔の手が伸びるかもしれない。
Even so, I can't let you keep that picture. The organization will stop at nothing to find my whereabouts, and they'll kill anyone who gets in their way.
とにかく今撮った俺の写真を即刻削除してほしい。
I need you to delete that picture immediately. I love how the name at the bottom of the screen keeps changing. Lady ignoring me. Is she even listening?
謝る。
Sorry. Wow, she finally speaks. Just a whisper, but it's something.
不快にさせたなら。
If I upset you. Lady who apologized out of nowhere. She lowers her head slightly in a bow. Or at least I think it's a bow. She's been looking down all this time, so I can't really tell.
謝るより先に写真を削除してほしいわけだが。
Before you apologize, I need you to delete that photo.
風景撮ってた。
I was shooting the scenery. Her fingers dance across her phone keys with impressive speed, exactly the opposite of her annoyingly slow speech pattern.
風景を撮っていた？観光客？
The scenery? You're a tourist? Or is she one of the people who came to see the satellite? In that case, why'd she take a picture of me? She shakes her head without looking at
証
me.
明。自分が今日どこを歩いたか。
It's proof of where I was today.
変なやつだな。
You're a strange lady.
桐生萌香。
Kiryu. Moika.
Huh?
Hmm?
名前。
My name. I guess she's introducing herself. That's nice, but I just want her to delete the photo.
聞きたいことがある。いい？
I have a question for you. May I?
それより写真を。
First, the photo.
都市伝説。秋葉原の。
There's an urban legend in Akihabara.
知らない。
Have you heard of it? An urban legend? What is she talking about? Don't tell me. There is a brilliant but insane mad scientist said to be lurking in Akihabara, and now that brilliant but insane mad scientist is the target of every assassin in the world?
俺はこの町に長く居すぎたのかもしれん。だがそろそろ死ぬ時か。
Gah, I've remained in this town for far too long. I'll need to make plans. Akihabara, you weren't such a bad town. I'm glad the
幻のレトロ PC。
Phantom Retro PC.
レトロ PC。
Retro PC? She replies with a nod or something like a
秋葉
nod.
原のどこかにあるらしくて、それが。
They say there's one in Akihabara.
そうか。
Oh. Nothing about a mad scientist. I'm relieved but also disappointed. At any rate, this is the first time I've heard about a Phantom Retro PC.
幻のレトロ PC というとキュッパチあたりか？
A retro PC? You mean like a 98? Okay, hold on. Tips. Maid cafe. The type of cafe where the waitresses wear maid uniforms, usually in a French maid style. They usually call their customers Master! Patrons can talk to the waitress and play games with them, but ultimately maid cafes are restaurants, not bordellos. Otaku doujinshi, fan-created amateur manga, which are often but not always adult in nature. These are sold at special doujinshi events, the biggest of which is the twice-annual Comic Giga Market, which is known by fans as Comicma. 98, a Japanese PC series sold from the mid-1980s to the mid-1990s. It sold so well that at one point it was called the National Computer. That's the first model that comes to mind. But are 98s really that hard to find? She shakes her head slightly, or something like a shake.
いいえ、これ。
No, this. She turns her phone towards me. The screen shows an oddly shaped computer. It's hard to tell since the picture's monochrome, but it looks like some kind of PC. It looks kind of familiar.
IBN 5100。
An IBM 5100. An IBM 5100.
ジョン・タイターが手に入れようとした PC か。
That's the computer John Titter tried to get. Her fingers twitch, I think.
見たことは？
You've seen this one.
ない。
No,
名前を知ってるぐらいだ。
I've only heard the name. Coincidence?
こ
No.
れもシュタインズゲートの選択かもしれん。
This could be the choice of Steins Gate.
詳しい人知らない？
Know anyone whom I know?
ダルならば詳しく知っているかもな。
Daru probably knows more about
そい
it.
つは俺のマイフェイバリットライトアームであるスーパーハッカーでな。MI6 の中枢にすらハッキングできる実力の持ち主なのだ。
He's my favorite right arm, a super hacker capable of breaking into even MI6's mainframe. The MI6 part is a slight exaggeration. If that ever did happen, Men in Black would break down our door and take us away. But the super hacker part is true. The depth of his computer knowledge is uncanny. Speaking of Daru, I'm supposed to meet him at May Queen plus Nyan too. I don't have time to stand around and chat with some crazy lady I don't
では
know.
俺は女よ。メディアスクラムもほどほどに。
Well, I'm off. Lady, media scrum in moderation. MI6. In the United Kingdom, the government organizations responsible for foreign intelligence operations. MI6 stands for Military Intelligence, Section 6. However, its formal name is the Secret Intelligence Services. Media scrum. During news stories with high public interest, reporters sometimes latch onto persons of interest, bombarding them with questions, prying into their lives, and even camping outside their houses. These activities are a serious invasion of privacy and can inflict mental and emotional stress on the subject. I try to make a smooth exit, one-liner and everything, but she grabs my sleeve before I can disappear into the crowd.
何をする？
What are you doing?
メールアド教えて。
Hurry, Mel. Please.
何が狙いだ？
What are you after?
スーパーハッカーの
The super hacker. I guess she wants to hear Daru's story. It's my fault for mentioning him. Well, I'm meeting up with Daru, so why don't I just take her along? No, wait a second. This could be a devious trap. Maybe she's really a spy sent to kidnap Daru. I'm defenseless without him. My only other ally is Mayuri, whose skills amount to costume design.
断る。今ダルを失うわけにはいかん。
I refuse. I'll never give up Daru. I slip past her and start walking faster. I glance back. She's following me. I pick up the pace, but she's still chasing me.
俺の後ろを歩くな。
Stop following me! Unperturbed, she shows me her phone again. On the screen is the picture of me that she took.
まだ削除していなかったのか。
Yeah! You still haven't deleted it?
教えてくれたら削除する。
Tell me. I'll delete it.
この俺を脅すとは。貴様、何者だ？
You dare blackmail me? Who do you work for? I attempt to glare her into submission, but her eyes are already lowered. My glare is ineffective.
私は
She hesitates for a second.
アークリライトのバイト。
Work part-time at Arc Rewrite.
なんだそれは。
What's that?
ヘントロ秋葉原にある。
An editorial company here in Akihabara. One of those companies that writes articles for magazines? Is this gloomy lady really fit for that kind of work?
貴様、 俺の写真を無断で記事にするつもりだな。
Wait, you plan on publishing my picture without permission, don't you? The mad scientist of Akiba, unveiled! I can see the headlines now. That's all the organization will need to turn Akiba into a sea of blood. No, I must avoid that gruesome outcome at all costs. I have no choice.
交換条件に乗ろう。
Very well. I accept your terms. At any rate, as long as she has that photo, I have no way of knowing how it might be used. I pull up my email address and show her. Looking back and forth from my phone to hers, she enters my info with terrifying speed.
そうか。この女、能力者か。
Of course, this woman is an Esper. It's like basically a psychic. A general term for humans who possess supernatural powers. Common powers include telepathy, telekinesis, and precognition, though more exotic powers exist. It's rumored that some Espers even possess the ability to reshape reality with pure force of will. Derives from the term ESP, which stands for extrasensory perception. I dub her power Shining Finger. Her magic thumb types cursed emails at 255 characters per minute. Whoever receives one dies. She's done typing my address. It took all of 5 seconds. Name.
法院教マッドサイエンティスト。
Hyoin Kyoma. Mad scientist.
どう書くの？
How is it spelled?
フェニックスの法を院、そして凶悪な真実。
First, Hyo for Phoenix, then In, and finally Kyoma, which means a horrible truth that must never be revealed.
フェニックスの法を院。
I'm not gonna repeat
凶
that.
悪なる真実。
I repeat my perfect explanation. This is the origin of my true name. Explaining the in part of Hyoin would take too long, so I left it out. She enters my name with her head tilted to the side.
こう？
Like this?
なんだこれはふざけるな。俺のマナをバカにするつもりか。
Hoowing Yoma. What the hell is this? Are you mocking me? She lowers her head a little more, an apologetic bow, I guess.
ならば携帯を貸せ。
Just hand me your phone. I'll enter it. She shakes her head, clutching her phone with both hands as if to protect it from me. Like a spoiled child, you can't let go of a toy. She shields it from me with all her might. What does she think I'm gonna do? Her reaction is a little depressing. Anyway, she's obviously not going to hand her phone over, so I ask for her address instead. I'll send her a blank mail. She told me her name a few minutes ago, but I forgot it already, so I enter her as Shining Finger. It was Mocha, wasn't it? Yeah. What am I doing standing here in the middle of the street? Let's hurry up and send her a blank email. I don't need to type anything. It's just to give her my name. I already put her in my contacts. Just send a blank email to Shining Finger. She frowns while looking at her own phone. Then she glances my way. I can feel those eyes clearly saying hurry up. But I'm hesitant. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to give her my true name. But regardless of how long I hesitate, I don't think that she'll let me go unless I send her the email. She sure is persistent. Like I have no choice but to send the email. We exchange a few words, then I get away from her as fast as I can. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Steins Gate. A lot of crazy stuff happened, and I honestly don't know how this is all going to piece together. I don't even have like very good theories to go to really string things along, but like already it seems like there's like some crazy time shenanigans happening, because we already know that he knew about John Titter before before it was even announced on the app channel. So this isn't like him trying to claim that he knew about something. But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.